Okay, let's move to this next story. We're going to play a clip of Ted Nugent saying that the federal government, Obama, Hillary, others, are criminals. And they are. They ship tens of thousands of guns to Mexico to blame the Second Amendment. They've been caught shipping narcotics in, opium in. They've been caught giving billions of dollars to energy companies that don't exist. They are absolute mafia criminals. It's true. The problem is Bush was bought and paid for by the very same interest that own Obama and now own Romney. So I agree with everything he says in these clips about, you know, the government's criminal, it's destroying the Bill of Rights, it's wiping its butt with the Constitution. But the problem is that Romney is for gun control, open borders, wrote Obamacare, for carbon taxes. Sure, now he says he isn't. But when he was actually a governor and in policy, that's what he did. So, sure, I hate Obama, but the next puppet isn't enticing. But there's a new twist in this before we go to this clip. Secret Service looking into Ted Nugent's violent anti-Obama rant, the Canadian press. So now his speech is violent. Now his speech is bad. And tongue-in-cheek, he said he'd either be, quote, dead or in jail if Obama got elected, saying he was going to work his butt off to, and it was all tongue-in-cheek. I mean, are we going to arrest him for, I got you in a stranglehold, baby. I mean, is that now illegal? So it's this idea of the Secret Service, when they're not busy hanging out with prostitutes and everything, they're going to get Ted Nugent. And that report is in Yahoo News. Here's another one, a CBS News report, Secret Service investigating Ted Nugent. Why don't you investigate the New World Order bankers that hijacked this country? Oh, I forgot, you're collaborators with the New World Order in gutting this country. In fact, I want to introduce this idea. When the French got conquered through Vichy military that had stood down, the Nazis didn't defeat the French military. The entire French military stood down. A small British force fought them. And of course, their government made a double deal with Hitler, telling him to invade, and then they double-crossed him. But the point is that they're called collaborators. Everybody that serves this New World Order, everybody that goes along with butchering the Bill of Rights, Constitution, due process, let the White House and John Corzine steal billions, you're collaborators with a corporate takeover of America called the New World Order, and you will be held accountable. I may not make it through this, but let me tell you something. You are the enemy. As Brzezinski admitted 2 years ago, the people know about the elite now, and not just their front puppets like Obama and Mitt Romney. Not everybody is as political and dumbed down as poor old Ted, who we're supporting in his First Amendment. You know, Ted's like, well, lesser of two evils. But it's what the system put in to run against him. It's like a Don King boxing match, Ted Nugent. Both fighters are owned. Admit the whole thing's a fraud. Stop being a chump. And you talk about get together, wake up, defend America. You know, Obama hates the Constitution. Yeah, so did Bush with torture, Patriot Act, secret arrest. Yeah, now Obama's got NDAA, saying he'll arrest and kill whoever he wants. Maybe they'll kill you like they did Breitbart. I talked to a Fox News insider today, and he was totally freaked out. He said they did kill Breitbart. Fox News is being intimidated, is being threatened. Of course they are. Since when does George Soros' little Media Matters intimidate everybody? It's the front of the White House. The point is that these aren't quarter measures or half measures where Mitt Romney, who, you know, rules his own planet or whatever, is going to save us. He's another bankster. But again, don't let the facts confuse you. The point is we've got to support Nugent and his First Amendment. Here is his clip from the NRA conference that's got the globalists so upset.
There's a hero of the military that just got his legs blown off for the U.S. Constitution, and we got a president and attorney general who doesn't even like the Constitution. 4 Supreme Court justices signed their name to a declaration that Americans have no fundamental right to self-defense. And if you take that adamant we the people defiance, remember we're Americans because we defied the king. We didn't negotiate and compromise with the king. We defied the emperors.
And Ted goes on, we have the full video at Infowars.com from the NRA conference, to say they're criminals, they're out of control, they hate this country, and it's so true, that's what scares the system. Because this is an occupational usurper, hijacker, foreign banker takeover. I mean, The Economist, all of them brag, oh, foreign banks conquered Europe. Well, you're not going to conquer me and then raise my taxes to pay it in banker bailouts. I mean, it's got to come to an end. These crazy New World Order, bravada, chutzpah, arrogance-filled, hubris-filled New World Order people will destroy themselves if we don't stop them, with us along with them. They're that crazy. By the way, we're going to go to break here with our interview coming up. I just want to impress upon everybody, we are having a reporter contest, $10,000 in prizes, $5,000 to a male reporter we're going to hire, $5,000 to a female reporter we're going to hire. And again, by hire, you're going to win the money. You'll be in the running to be hired. But I'm going to be honest with you. We need more women to enter the contest. We've had some great entries, but it's like for every 15 male entries, 1 female entry. Ladies, it's about your personality. It's about what you think and have to say. You don't have to have some big fancy set there. It's about you and your idea. So give us a rant. Give us a rant. Production's important, but not as important as your personality. So give us a rant. Let us hear what you have to say. Let us see your passion. We've gotten incredible, hundreds of entries from men. Makes my head spin. Of every race, color, creed. And that's great. Men keep entering. But women, we're going to hire a female reporter. If we get a couple, only one will win the money, but multiple may get hired. We want to expand this operation. It isn't just about Alex Jones. So go to Infowars.com, go to the reporter contest area, or just Google Infowars reporter contest, and it'll lead you to the subpage. Make your video, put it on YouTube, send it to us. You've got until April 30th to get it introduced. There's plenty of time. I'm Alex Jones. We'll be right back after break. Stay with us.
Not all member of Freemasonry is aware of the inner circle and what is happening. But that inner circle does worship Lucifer and considers him the light bearer or the bringer of light. Here we can see that Barack Obama is wearing a Masonic ring. We can also see that he is throwing up the devil horns. This in the Satanic Bible is a salute to Lucifer, not rock on. Once a year, these high-powered presidents and captains of industry meet in Northern California at Bohemian Grove. Here they worship a large stone owl called Moloch.
Just media. I said it. I didn't say alternative media. I didn't say mainstream media. I didn't separate or try to divide and conquer. I just said media. This is an info war. It's a war, damn it. A war for your mind. Okay? Your brain. Your brain function. Your eyeballs are shooting right out of your brain, buddy. You're seeing all this on video and your brain is mesmerized. Okay? And you're mesmerized and turned on by the TV and the mainstream media. Okay? And what are they doing? They're looking off like this. And you watch their eyeballs skirting back and forth like that because they're reading off a teleprompter. Okay? What did Rick Santorum, who just dropped out of the presidential race, what did he just say like a month or two ago, talking about like, all debates and all presidential speeches and conferences should have no teleprompters? Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe that might be great considering that our current POTUS is just like, I mean, his eyeballs are like on crack, man. They're going back and forth like retarded. And then he messes up on words and stuff, and he just looks ridiculous, man.
Okay, I can see you want to use drones to keep tabs on ships in a big sea. You got busy coastal areas and tons of commercial traffic to keep an eye on. That's why the U.S. Navy's decided to enlist the help of robots to root out pirates. You get the Office of Naval Research will test out a new device called a multi-mode sensor seeker, which uses high-definition cameras, infrared cameras, and laser radar technology, aka LADAR, to identify small boats on the water. The new sensor will be outfitted on fire scouts, unmanned helicopter drones that can take off and land on Navy ships. All the data they collect will then be analyzed by software against databases of schematics to identify potential targets. We have people hungry here. We have good, hardworking people who lost their homes. But the military-industrial complex is going to continue to march on. So now they have drones to patrol the oceans and spend millions and billions of dollars on this project. And to who? The military-industrial complex.
In the next 10 minutes, you will see an interview with Ralph Epperson, an author, lecturer, and filmmaker, also from the Tucson, Arizona area. If you're unfamiliar with Ralph Epperson, he has written many books, but is best well known for his works The Unseen Hand, an introduction to the conspiratorial view of history, written all the way back in 1985, which is before I was even born. He was talking about some of these really important subjects, and what was seen as totally fringe back then is now becoming more and more true in spades. So people who used to mock and laugh at some of the things Ralph Epperson presented now are eating their own words. The other book he is most well known for is The New World Order, also by Ralph Epperson. This book came out all the way back in 1990, and just like The Unseen Hand, he's been proven to know what he's talking about in spades with books like these. First, before I get to that interview, I want to do
In politics, transparency is used as a means of holding public officials accountable and fighting corruption. It's true. You can look it up on Wikipedia. Google it. So you may be wondering, well, what does a transparency government mean? Well, really what it means is when a government's meeting is open to the press and to the public, its budgets may be reviewed by anyone.
Little information that I found troubling that I think you guys might also. I bet you didn't know that your former President George W. Bush was found guilty of war crimes in November of 2011 and labeled a terrorist.
Former U.S. President George Bush and his former counterpart Tony Blair were found guilty of war crimes by the Kuala Lumpur War Crimes Tribunal, which held a 4-day hearing in Malaysia. The 5-panel tribunal unanimously decided that Bush and Blair committed genocide and crimes against peace and humanity when they invaded Iraq in 2003 in blatant violation of international law.
Alex, I'm here at the second annual Elote Luchador Run, a 5K run here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, benefiting the local YMCA. But so much in the news these days, I want to find out if people know more about pop culture or what really matters in the news. Okay, what's your name, sir?
My name is El Fantasma Rojo.
What brought you out here to the run today?
I go to Lotte for their tacos and heard about the run and trying to get into runner shape. I'm still in training, honestly.
Okay, and do you wrestle? Have you ever wrestled?
No, I've never done the wrestle.
The Florida man who claimed he shot Trayvon Martin in self-defense, do you know his name?
I've heard it.
Do you know the name of Jay-Z and Beyonce's baby?
Don't care.
Oh, yeah, that's a good answer. I like that answer. All right. Former Rutgers student Daru Ravi was recently convicted of committing what act in his dorm room?
Sexual assault?
Yeah, that's close. He filmed his roommate.
Okay, harassment.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know who the governor of Oklahoma is?
It's Mary Fallon, is it not?
Yes, that is correct. The New York Jets recently acquired which high-profile quarterback from the Denver Broncos?
Oh, man, you definitely picked the wrong person for these questions, 'cause I really don't care.
All right. Is there anything that you do care about, sir?
I play a lot of disc golf.
In 2011, 3 Tulsa police officers and an ATF agent were sentenced on corruption charges, including stealing money and carrying firearms during drug trafficking. Can you name any one of the 4?
I cannot.
Okay. I'll give you the names. It's Jeff Henderson, Harold Wells, Brandon McFadden, and J.J. Gary.
Okay, I read some articles, but I didn't, recollect.
Don't touch that mouse. Coming up, the trailer for the Toronto hearings on 9/11, uncovering 10 years of deception. And then the director, Dan Dix, from Canada.